another edition of Ask Michael Ehline. This is where I teach people the law in an unorthodox manner by using examples that we see in the news, case law briefs, but it's all about exposing the Leviathan and its instrumentalities and taking back your rights. Know the law and mean to keep it well. Come here to learn from an expert to know your right. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save, because we never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am attorney Michael Ehline, and as you guys know, I am an attorney licensed in California and Texas. I primarily specialize in catastrophic injury claims, but I also do criminal defense and civil rights, and I have an expertise and background in appellate practice and procedure. And I like to cover news stories about corrupt government officials and government accountability and the concept of individual rights and natural law, meaning that no one group or person is better than another, that we're all equal in the eyes of our Creator. And anytime the government tries to place other people in front of another person to make them equal, like programs like DEI or affirmative action, it always leads to failure. And so we're going to tonight look at some videos from some of my members who wanted me to expose some of these, what they call DEI hires. And so for those of you who don't know, DEI is this made up term called diversity, equity, and inclusion. And what it means is that you put people who are less qualified in front of the line than other people, because allegedly these other people are privileged, and that's the only reason why they're more qualified. So if you're better at math, if you're better at reading or writing, if you have a proven track record of success, that makes you, for lack of a better word, the enemy. And you need to be put at the back of the line to give all these other people who are less qualified a chance. And that's in essence what diversity, equity, and inclusion is. And so in response to Joe Biden's DEI programs and BlackRock's DEI programs, the American people overwhelmingly rejected these policies, which go against the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, by the way, because it's placing one group over another. It's precisely what Martin Luther King Jr. fought against, right? Judge people based upon the content of their character, not of their skin, right? So what we're going to do today is we are going to look at what DEI is and what the new president has been doing to combat it. And then we're going to get into a little bit about, see if I can get this going here. Hold on one second, guys. Let me move this over here for you. And then we're going to go into some examples of corrupt DEI hire public officials and show you an example of how underqualified people are more easily corrupted, right? So we'll get into that, and let's just kick it off with the first video, and hopefully we'll get a couple people joining me. By the way, I started a little bit early tonight. I haven't been doing my shows regularly. I apologize. I had a back injury, and I also run a law firm, so it's not like I can always do the shows, but I appreciate everybody joining me. I appreciate your support. Anybody who makes a super chat, or even if it's $1.99, my answers to questions, go to the front of the line. I'll put you at the front and showcase you. Anybody who wants to buy membership for other people, I'll promote you as well. And that's the way we do it. Anybody who wants to learn about how to become a lawyer with no law degree or undergrad, I also have, if you want to support my channel, I have a book, an ebook called My Journey to Becoming a Practicing Lawyer with No Law Degree or Undergrad. And it's available for $19.99 if you want to learn about some of the other states that offer law study programs. I graduated the law study program, which is the same program that Kim Kardashian is on. And it's the first exam I took, called the Baby Bar, was less than a 10% pass when I took it. Very, very difficult program. And it's designed for people who are highly disciplined. And by the way, forgive the sunglasses. I have an eye infection, and my studio lights are so bright that this is the only way I could come at you tonight. Hey, what's going on, our guy? 936. Good seeing you, brother. Let's get into the first video. We'll learn a little bit about DEI, which is basically an anti-white male racist program started by the far left, and they also call it woke. And they also have another program called critical race theory, which basically teaches hatred against white people, and that's being pushed by the Department of Education and the National Education Association to turn the people against each other. So in the public school teachers, especially in California, for years have been trying to force this radical Marxist ideology on our school children to teach all the children of a different skin color that white people are oppressors and make white people feel guilty for having white skin. And that's essentially what DEI is in a nutshell. I'm just one of the braver people who actually calls them like I see them, because there's only one truth. And the truth is that programs like affirmative action and DEI and all that stuff are designed to divide the American people against each other. So let's get into the first video.
President Trump signed multiple executive orders revoking several DEI mandates, policies, and programs within the federal government this week. And he also put federal DEI workers on leave. Melissa Matani joins us now. She's the executive producer of our CBS News Confirmed team. So, Melissa, break down for us the history of DEI programs.
So DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. You sometimes hear this as DIA. It stands for accessibility.
Oh, okay.
And, and a lot of people mistake DEI to stand for race, when actually it's much more than that. It's age, it's your gender, it's your physical ability, and your socioeconomic status. And basically what these programs do is they try to allow training opportunities, accessibility to get into that sort of executive workplace so that our workplaces start to look like the societies that we live in.
Bullshit.
And history-wise, DEI has been around since the 1960s, linked very much to the civil rights movement.
Cultural
but it was the
Marxism.
1964 Civil Rights Act that banned employment discrimination based on all of these topics that I just mentioned, like race, color, religion, sex. But really, Lindsay, even though it's been around since the 1960s, it was in 2020 when, in the wake of George Floyd's murder, you'll remember we had these big protests on the streets. And that's when companies rushed to get more diverse people into executive positions. And with this big push, we also saw a big backlash with political figures on the right, people like Elon Musk really pushing back and saying that DEI equated to racism against white people and specifically white men. Really interesting, a Pew Research study from November last year showed that 47% of white people, that's almost half, think that DEI initiatives are harmful specifically to white men, as we're trying to get more women into the work.
No, it's not that they think, it's that they know. That's precisely what it is. DEI is just a form of racism, and it's also a form of gender discrimination. But yeah, anyways, let's watch.
What does the data show us?
So this is really interesting. So when you look at the data, especially in terms of like how things change. So in 2020, when there was that big push, according to research by the University of North Carolina and Texas A&M, there were 253 Black executives in 2020 in S&P 500 companies. By 2023, there were 417. So that's a big jump, but still that's under 500 people. Now compare that to white.
They make up less than 13% of the population. They make up less than 13% of the population. They're already overrepresented at the lower end with the other numbers. I don't understand what this big push is all about. What do you guys think?
Executives. Those numbers didn't shrink. It's not like they went down. They still went up. In 2020, there was 6,286. In 2023, 6,469. So just take a look, Lindsay, when we're talking about 417 compared to 6,469 white people, here you can see this huge disparity, and this is exactly why we need these programs.
And why everybody should be following.
They make up less than 13% of the population. This woman is talking out of her butthole. She's not using statistics. She's not using demographics. She's just making up nonsense out of her butt. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree.
CBS Confirmed on Instagram, because you guys put a lot of these infographics up there for people to see as well. Melissa Matani, thank you.
All right, so we got to see the leftist news reporter. Now let's get into what's been going on with these DEI hires. So we've had a push by governors and mayors to make sure that no matter what the cost, get the female, get the minority race in a position of power, irrespective of their criminal histories, irrespective of their qualifications. Even if they got straight F's in school, it doesn't matter. You've got to prove that you're anti-racist. That's the whole point of DEI. You have to prove that you're anti-racist. And the way you do that is by hook or by crook, get someone into a place of power, no matter what, in a position of leadership. Doesn't matter if they're qualified. Just make sure that they that you can put the square peg in the round hole. And so let's get into it. Let's see what happens when we move away from merit-based promotions and just put people into power so it makes us feel good about ourselves. Let's go.
Last year, February 2024, prosecutors saying McKnight was the only person who could have shot her ex-boyfriend, Michael McCoy, in that home. McCoy said he could not see when he woke up in excruciating pain during the overnight hours of February 10th. He couldn't tell who shot him, but he was adamant that he did not shoot himself. To his knowledge, McKnight was the only other person in the home when he went to bed.
Welcome, Robert.
We heard from Cumberland County District Attorney Sean McCormack just shortly ago about the case he was prosecuting to help avoid any conflicts of interest with county and state law enforcement.
I think what I talked about in my closing is using your common sense. That's what I urge the jurors to do. There were two people in that house, and only two people in that house. And one of them, the one who was shot, said he did not shoot himself. The logical conclusion is the other person did it.
The McKnight was led out of the courtroom after the verdict was read in handcuffs. She was being taken to the Dolton County prison as she had her bail raised to $3 million after the convictions occurred earlier today. A sentencing is set for May. However, her defense attorney indicated that he intends to appeal the verdict that came out of court today. He said that he simply just does not agree with what prosecutors argued and that McKnight did not shoot McCoy. But again, she will face sentencing in May and was taken to the Dolton County prison after the verdict was read today. Again, Sonia McKnight, district judge here in the Harrisburg area, convicted of attempted murder and aggravated assault.
All right. So that's one example. That's one of my viewers. Now, honestly, I don't know if she's a DEI appointee or not, but I've just got a whole camera roll of all these recently appointed allegedly DEI hires. And so I'm just showing you an example of what's been going on out there. You can make up your mind if you think that they were DEI hires or not. Let's get into the next one and see. Here we go.
Last March, the Prince George's County Police Department posted this photo on social media celebrating newly sworn-in police officer Sierra Alston's graduation from the police academy. It was part of honoring Women's History Month.
A few moments later,
a Prince George's County rookie officer facing criminal charges.
A rookie cop celebrated by the department last spring in a social media post during Women's History Month was arrested last week after being charged by Washington Metropolitan Airport Authority police with unauthorized use of 3 BMWs stolen from the 6th rental car company at Reagan National Airport. Now, we know from court documents that her charges stem from an investigation into 30 cars stolen from the company's lot.
Now, this DEI story is crazy.
This guy's great.
So today we are in Prince George County, Maryland, home to about 1 million residents. Now, Prince George wanted to expand the police department and hired 300 new officers. So they took out an ad campaign to see if they can get more people to apply.
Happening now in Maryland, there's a major recruiting effort underway within the Prince George's County Police Department. They're hoping to hire 300 new officers to protect and serve the community. Residents say they are glad the police are hiring more officers because of their concerns about crime. Well, the captain of the recruiting division says salaries for experienced officers start at $74,000 and entry-level officers will get $63,000.
Now, Prince George is a very liberal place and they love DEI. So with that in the background, they hired Sierra Alston. Now, Sierra was assigned to the Bureau of Patrol, and in March 2024, the department highlighted her graduation from the police academy with the social media post celebrating Women's History Month.
Last March, the Prince George's County Police Department posted this photo on social media celebrating newly sworn-in police officer Sierra Alston's graduation from the police academy. It was part of honoring Women's History Month.
Now, this is where things start getting a little crazy. See, the rental car company 6 has just discovered that 30 of their rental cars are missing from Reagan National Airport. It's like insane stuff.
Back up a second here. 30 cars stolen from the airport parking lot for one rental company.
By police.
Yeah, Jim, that one got our attention too. That was in the affidavit. We asked a lot of questions to Sixt about this. Long and short, the affidavit.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think it was for reparations? Because we'll get into reparations towards the end. We'll talk about the supply chain and where should the reparations start? Should they start with the fellow tribe members who sold them, or should they start with the people who freed them? We'll get into that later.
It says that corporate got word about 30 missing vehicles. They sent a team of investigators almost immediately to corporate of how this could possibly happen. Their only response was that they were cooperating with police on this investigation. Jim?
I get panicked when I lose my car in a parking lot myself. I can't imagine losing 30, but that's another story for another day. David, thank you.
So the police went to work. First, they looked at the high-end vehicles. They're a little easier to find because they all have GPS in them. So when they tracked down the first two BMWs, they find Sierra Alston's police uniform in one and her Bluetooth connected to another.
That rental car company is called Sixt. Earlier this year, they discovered around 30 cars were stolen from their Reagan location. Corporate sent a team to track them down and almost immediately found a stolen BMW outside an address connected with Alston in Southeast DC. A Prince George's County police jacket was found inside that car, as well as documents that connected Alston, according to police.
Now, the police department asked Alston, hey, there was a stolen BMW found in front of your house with your police jacket inside it. Can you explain it? This was Alston's excuse.
It's also alleged when confronted by an investigator last spring, she claimed she had taken an Uber and lost her jacket. When told that car was in front of her house, it's alleged she claimed she didn't live there.
Now, you would think that would be enough, but police found a whole bunch more. Check it out.
After further investigation, 2 other BMWs stolen.
So what do you guys think? Do you think that she was entitled to those BMWs as some kind of reparations or as a bonus because she's a DEI hire? Give me a bunch of ones if you think those BMWs were a form of reparations or a bonus for DEI hire, or give me a bunch of 2s if you think that I'm a complete whack job.
From the lot were quickly located. In all, 2 of the BMWs had evidence that the radio had been connected to Alston's phone. The 3rd BMW is the same car driven by Alston to take her boyfriend to the hospital after he was stabbed in March, according to the affidavit.
Now, she was so reckless with it, she was even caught on police body cam footage driving a 3rd BMW.
And she was seen with the 3rd BMW in DC police body cam footage.
As for that car, further investigation into that vehicle revealed that it was abandoned on April 9th in the area of Millingen Lane and Spring Accrue Road, Clinton, Prince George's County, Maryland, after the victim spoke with Officer Alston on her cell phone, the victim referring to the rental car company in this case.
So after all the nonsense, the evasive questions, police just charged her. They had enough to charge her.
Now to a story that we've been following closely. A Prince George's County rookie officer facing criminal charges. That officer appeared before a judge today. Sierra Alston faces 3 counts of unauthorized use of a vehicle.
Ms. Alston, is there anything that you would like to say?
Yes, get those cameras in my face. You got the cash.
Wait, which one is the stud guts? Give me a bunch of 1s if the one on the left is the stud guts. Give me a bunch of 2s if the one on the right is the stud guts. And how was she able to get pregnant if they're both girls? So I put it in the comments. How were either one, if they're both stud guts, how was she able to get pregnant? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Guys, this is really important stuff. I got to know this for the record. All right, let's go.
Did you steal these cars?
Thank you.
Prince George's County police officer Sierra Alston leaving the Arlington County District Court today after a brief appearance for her arraignment. Yesterday, the department revealed Alston was arrested last week and is facing felony charges for unauthorized use of 3 rental cars stolen from Reagan National Airport. 7 News obtaining the criminal complaint filed in Arlington, Virginia. It's now alleged that just after that graduation picture was posted, the 6th rental car company recovered 3.
Oh, boy. I'm sure that had to be a coincidence, right, guys? Hold on a minute. We got to go back. We got to go back. Sorry about that. Let me. This is really something. Let's go back. For those of you who are joining us, we were just checking out Stud Guts and her girlfriend, and these are the story of a DEI hire cop and how she was stealing BMWs. Let's get back into it. Hopefully, you guys can see everything now. I'm just getting a kick out of this. She is crazy, Cheyenne. Hold on. Let's get into it.
Washington County District Court today after a brief appearance for her arraignment. Yesterday, the department revealed Alston was arrested last week and is facing felony charges for unauthorized use of 3 rental cars stolen from Reagan National Airport.
How could that be?
7 News
Clearly she's
obtained
innocent.
the criminal complaint filed in Arlington.
Clearly she's innocent, right, guys? Clearly somebody's just being racist, right? I mean, obviously she didn't do it. She was set up, right? Give me a bunch of 1s if you think she was set up. Give me a bunch of 2s if you think she's a professional victim. Let's go.
Virginia. It's now alleged that just after that graduation picture was posted, the 6th rental car company recovered 3 2024 BMWs taken from their lot between February and April. An airport authority police.
By the way, give me a bunch of 1s if you think that she voted for Trump. Give me a bunch of 2s if you think she voted for Sleepy Joe. 1's for Trump, 2 for Sleepy Joe. Let's go.
Officer claiming that in one car they found a female PGPD jacket. In another, Alston's Instagram account was linked to the entertainment system, and that Alston was recorded driving the 3rd car during an interaction with a D.C. police officer. They also allege Alston's cell phone pinged near the airport on 3 occasions during the period when the cars were taken. The last time, just 5 days after her police graduation.
So now, generally, at this point in the video, I'd be like, share, subscribe, do all that great YouTube stuff. But then, with this story, something strange has happened. See, the evidence in this case was pretty strong. Her ID and personal belongings with her police jacket were found in the car. The car was found in front of her house. She was seen on police body cam driving the car. She drove her boyfriend to the hospital in that car. Like, she was definitely using that vehicle.
Oy
but
vey.
for some reason, they dropped the charges against her in this particular case. With that, here it is. Car theft related charges against a former Prince George's County police officer were dropped on Thursday in Arlington. And here they don't even really go into why. They just kind of dropped them. Now, there are many reasons why prosecutors drop charges. For instance, the evidence may not have been as strong as they thought it was. And you could also have the situation where the witness isn't cooperating. 6 could be embarrassed. They did just lose 30 cars in the most moronic way. Their system obviously has some flaw. Or she could be a cooperating witness to a larger scheme. There weren't 30 cars missing, for instance. But I want to make it clear, that's all speculation. As of right now, March 14th, 2025 at 2:29 p.m., she is innocent of all charges because she's not going to be found guilty in a court of law, and these charges have been dismissed. But as a hypothetical, do you think the DA's office could have gotten a conviction for unauthorized?
Do you think the DA's office is run by a George Soros bought and paid for prosecutor and that this was a DEI dismissal? Give me a bunch of 1s if you think this case was dismissed based upon DEI and reparations. Give me a bunch of 2s if you think this was a proper dismissal.
Use of a vehicle based on the evidence we had in front of us. We got the car company 6 saying that she was unauthorized to use the vehicles when she was using the vehicles. You got her from everything from being in the vehicles on police body cam to her personal items being in the car. So as a hypothetical, do you think they would have had enough to convict her? Let me know in the comment section. But it may sound easy, but it may be a little bit more complicated than you think. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, do all that great.
Yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do you think that based upon all that evidence that the prosecutor, remember, this is Maryland, right? This is Maryland. We know that they have George Soros prosecutors. Do you think this was a political dismissal, or do you think this dismissal was really in the interest of justice? What do you guys think? Give me a bunch of 1s if you think that this was a political dismissal, a DEI-based dismissal. Give me a bunch of 2s if you think that it was justice. right? Maybe she was discriminated against all her life, so she got reparations by getting the case dismissed. What do you guys think? That's the comments that I've been getting from the people who are sending me these links. All right, so we got another one coming up here. Here's one. I guess she's called the most corrupt mayor in San Francisco's history. Let's take a look, and you guys tell me, what do you think? Do you think that she'll face justice? Let's go.
Don't get it twisted. I am the mayor, but I'm a Black woman first.
So let me ask you a question. I just out of curiosity. So if I was elected mayor in a predominantly white city and I had Black constituents, and I got up on stage and said, let me get this straight, dog. You got to know what I'm saying. I may be the mayor, you know what I'm saying? But for reals, I'm a white man first. How do you think that would go over? I just want to know what you guys think. But give me a bunch of ones if you think that would be perfectly acceptable and that PMS, NBC, and CNN would be totally cool with that. Give me a bunch of twos if you think I would be politically assassinated and that would be the end of my political career right there on the spot if I was able to make it out alive. So ones if you think that's perfectly okay. Again, if I said, I may be the mayor of San Francisco, but for reals, dog, I'm a white man first. If I said that, how would that go over with you if you were one of my constituents? Now, let's get back into what this mayor said, and I want to see what you guys think. So we're going to go ahead and rewind it because I think it's really important for you to see the hypocrisy in what DEI breeds. This is the issue. As a lawyer, see, my concept is that you judge a man or a woman by the content of their character, not by their skin color. And I want to know what you guys think.
I am the mayor, but I'm a Black woman first.
So you heard that, right? Well, let's play it again. Let's play it again. I'm the mayor, but for reals, yo, I'm a Black woman first. I mean, how would that make you feel if you were a minority? Because let's face it, in a lot of cities, like in Maryland and San Francisco, straight white males are pretty much a minority, right? So how do you feel when the shoe's on the other foot? Do you think it's a form of reparations and payback? And so that makes it acceptable? Or do you think in order for us to have a society that functions in cohesion, that we don't favor one race or one minority group over another? What do you guys think? I want to know what you guys think, but let's listen to her again.
I am the mayor, but I'm a Black woman first. I am angry. I am hurt. I am frustrated. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired.
A few moments later.
San Francisco elects a new mayor. Incumbent Mayor London Breed has been ousted by Levi Strauss heir Daniel Lurie. Mayor-elect Lurie won 50.
Well, now let me ask you a question. Does this guy not look exactly like that congressman who got busted with the Hillary Clinton alleged child stuff on the cell phone? I mean, honestly, like, why is it the guys that look like this and guys that look like her are the only ones who seem to get elected to political office? I don't get it. Is he also a DEI hire? What do you got? A bunch of ones, guys. If you think that the heir of the Levi Strauss company is a DEI hire, or give me a bunch of twos if you think he got elected because he comes from a wealthy family. Well, I just want to know what you guys think. I'm just curious. I don't know why anybody would want to live in San Francisco to begin with, but let's get into it.
6% of the vote, while Breed trailed with nearly 44%.
The most progressive mayor in the most progressive city has been fired because crime was a problem. Welcome to San Francisco, the most progressive and liberal city in America.
San Francisco used to be known as one of America's most beautiful cities. While one of the world's wealthiest metros, San Francisco is also one of the most liberal. In recent years, the city has served as a test bed for many progressive policies that then show up in other parts of the country. These range from offering sanctuary to illegal immigrants, cash payments, and even free marijuana to the city's homeless, decriminalizing property crime, and defunding the police. The city's depolicing initiative aimed to strip cops of their power to enforce the law.
Now, Mayor London Breed is what's known as a radical left Democrat. How radical? Well, London took...
Now hold on a minute. So here's the deal, guys, just really quick. So as you guys know, I'm big time pro Second Amendment, pro natural law, and pro self-defense. I think it's totally cool to defund the police, right? Not a problem. Police have no duty to protect you, but here's the problem. It's illegal for you. Basically, it's de facto illegal for you to defend yourself in California, in California. You can't, it's almost impossible to get a concealed carry. And even if you do defend yourself and it's proven to be self-defense, especially if you're a white male, you're immediately going to be prosecuted no matter how much proof you have that you did nothing wrong. So talk about what they call reverse racism. So what do you guys think? Do you think that absent the fact that you basically have no right of self-defense in California, that you should still defund the police and let these animals run loose? What do you guys think? Let's watch and you guys tell me. Let's see what happened when someone went ahead and just did it on their own without any legislative approval and started keeping the money for herself. Let's see what happened. I want to know what you guys think.
A $120 million from the police department to give it to black people for reparations. I'm not making this up.
Yeah, London Breed wants to take $120 million away from the city's law enforcement budget as a form of reparations toward the black community. She said the city has had decades worth of policies, which has basically prevented them from being able to prosper. So here is a look at some of the numbers. The police department's budget would shrink by $40 million in each of the next 2 years under Breed's plan. That is 6% of its budget, and $20 million would be taken from the sheriff's department. Preliminarily, the police chief says most of the money would come from not filling open positions. Vehicle purchases may also be put on hold.
For those who truly believe that Black lives matter, it's important that we listen to Black.
So let me ask you a question, guys. Do you think that only Black lives matter or that all lives matter? And do you think it's racist to think that all lives should matter equally? I'd like to know. So give me a bunch of ones if you think that only Black lives matter and that it's racist for number 2 to think that all lives matter. I want to hear what you guys think. So it's racist to believe that all lives matter, but it's perfectly awesome and okay if only Black lives matter. I'd like to know what your position is as part of my audience. I'd love to know. Tell me what you think.
Voices. It's important that we allow Black people to lead this movement.
So as you see, police department defunded, they're giving out reparations in San Francisco, and then crime exploded.
One was a difficult year for the city when it came to crime. Mayor Breed and the chief of police held a new...
Do you think that it was a conspiracy by the white man that when she started defunding the police, that crime exploded? Or do you think that it was logical that crime would explode when people have no right to defend themselves or their property in California with a gun? I'd like to know what you think. Give me a bunch of ones if you think it was a racist conspiracy by the white man for crime to explode. Give me a bunch of 2s if you think it's because people have no right to keep and bear arms and protect themselves in California.
News conference today to share last year's crime stats. So last year, San Francisco had 56 homicides. That's the highest it's been since 2017. In terms of crimes related to gun violence, there were 222 victims last year, the highest since 2016. And there were over 2,200 robberies reported, which is slightly less than 2020. However, the mayor in chief pointed out that not all robberies are reported.
This is just more icing on the cake, telling us that rampant crime has become a regular part of life.
So typical that in the 30 minutes we were at this Walgreens,
oh look,
we watched 3 people, including this man, steal.
Did that guy pay? Did that guy pay? He didn't pay.
So guys, really quick. So the guy who just walked out without paying, give me a bunch of 1s if you think he votes Democrat. Give me a bunch of 2s if you think he votes Republican. 1s if the guy who just committed a theft votes Democrat, 2s if he votes Republican. I'd like to know what you think.
Walgreens says this Richmond neighborhood store with aisles of products like mustard locked behind plexiglass has the highest theft rate of all their nearly 9,000 U.S. stores, hit more than a dozen times a day. When thieves turned to cleaning out ice cream and frozen burritos, workers grew so frustrated they resorted to the chains. They were ordered down by corporate because of the negative messaging.
Retail theft is rampant in San Francisco. We walked into a store and easily spotted and recorded shoplifters in action. Now some retailers are going to new lengths to protect their products.
It's happened again. 4 women run off after stealing from...
Let me tell you what the best way to protect your product is. Move the F out of California and any Democrat-run city and move to a place where you and your family can be safe and have access to a firearm and not risk going to jail if you have to use it to defend your family. Give me a bunch of 1s if you agree. Give me a bunch of 2s if you think I'm a racist, bigot, homophobe.
The CVS pharmacy at Van Ness and Jackson in San Francisco, this time just before 6 Monday night. It's the latest grab-and-go crime in San Francisco that's forced many drugstores in the city to close. The man who took this video tells me he feels sorry for the workers who have lost their jobs or have had their hours reduced because of what he called out-of-control shoplifting. Organized retail theft has become such a hot-button issue that it's now a point of focus in the upcoming gubernatorial recall election.
Now, because crime was going out of control, stores and businesses that were in San Francisco were like, hold on, we're not going to stay here for this ridiculous stuff. So they started leaving.
Starbucks is joining a long list of large businesses to shutter stores in San Francisco. Here's a look now at the cafes.
And here's my theme song. Hail to the no, to the no, no, no. Why the hell would you want to stay in a place like that run by a bunch of criminal idiots? Give me a bunch of 1s if you think San Francisco is an absolute dumpster fire.
Set to close. The locations primarily concentrated in the financial district, as well as one located in Nob Hill.
San Francisco's once bustling downtown streets still struggling to bounce back as retailers continue to flee.
The exodus continues.
Everybody give me a bunch of 1s from my main homeboy, Chuck Bronson, the GOAT. Chuck Bronson and John Felix, along with Chili. To me, I think these guys are the freaking heroes of the government accountability movement. I really have a lot of respect for these guys. And as you guys know, I'm not a typical lawyer. I call them like I see them. My dad told me a long time ago, be defined. Even if people hate you, at least they'll respect you and they'll know where you stand. Give me a bunch of 1s if you like that. Give me a bunch of 2s if you think I should be a pussy and not let people know who I am as a man.
Out of the city.
In the past few weeks, Westfield announced it's giving up its prominent downtown mall location, while AT&T revealed it is closing its flagship store in the city. The hemorrhaging of businesses, a concerning post-pandemic trend for the city by the Bay. According to an analysis by the San Francisco Standard, nearly half of the non-service retailers in the city's Union Square district have closed since 2019. Major stores like Crate & Barrel, Anthropologie, and H&M, just a few of the almost 100 shuttered in the last few years, while only 12 stores have opened in that time, according to the Standard. The loss of business just the city as it grapples with the issues of employers abandoning the city, homelessness, and drugs.
The countdown is on in less than a month. These 3
Well, as Mayor Sam Yorty said, remember LA Mayor Sam Yorty? He said a long time ago, the Democrat Party left me. I didn't leave the Democrat Party. And you're talking to a recovering Democrat. I mean, when the Democrats started to try to treat guns like they should only be for hunting, I realized and started wanting to put tampon machines in the boys' restroom. I kind of knew it was time for me to leave. What do you guys think? Do you think I made the right choice? Give me a bunch of 1s if you think I made the right choice to become a libertarian and not support either political party. Or give me a bunch of 2s if you think I'm a racist, bigot, and a homophobe for not supporting Marxist communism. Go.
Target stores in the Bay Area will all be shut down. And the reason? It's something we're seeing far too often. Good evening. I'm Karina Nova.
And I'm Dan Ashley. Thanks for joining us. San Francisco, Oakland, and Pittsburgh will all lose a Target store, and they'll lose them before Halloween. These are the 3 local stores Target announced today will be closing.
They are part of 9 store closures across the country affecting Portland, Seattle, and New York City. Target gave only one reason: retail theft.
Whole Foods is closing its largest store in San Francisco over safety concerns. Store managers tell us they're temporarily closing the mid-market location to ensure the safety of their team members. The store opened up just 1 year ago.
So now, not only crime was going out of control, homelessness was going out of control, the city was just going on to hell. Then the mayor decided, you know what? Let's reverse course. Let's start holding people accountable. Let's start hiring more police officers, and let's refund the police department. I'm trying to save my job.
And it's time that the reign of criminals who are destroying our city, it is time for it to come.
And criminals like her, like, right? I mean, come on, really? Give me a break.
To an end. And it comes to an end when we take the steps to be more aggressive with law enforcement, more aggressive with the changes in our policies, and less tolerant of all the that has destroyed our city.
For starters, car crime actually way down. From September to the end of November, the city logged nearly 3,400 reports of car break-ins. That's a 50% drop from the same time period last year. The number started dropping when the city actually started pouring smart resources into the problem. They used a combination of bait cars, plainclothes police officers, video surveillance, and the people the cops are arresting are actually being kept in jail.
Most importantly, I think we're arresting the right people, because here's what we found with car break-ins. There are people out there that are prolific. They do this for a living. They have victimized many, many people. And when those people are taken into custody and detained, kept in jail.
Hey, guys, what do you think? Hold on a minute. I just want to know what y'all think. So you're a government official. So you create a problem, right? You create the problem, right? You stop enforcing theft laws. You stop putting hardened criminals in jail, and you let them out free so they can vote for you, right? I'll vote for you. Just keep letting me rob people and pillage the city. And then turn it around and say, look at how we've reduced crime. And you basically reduce crime to what it may have been like 5 years ago. But the people who haven't fled the city are so happy. Oh, look what a great job she did. Oh my God, she's so amazing. All the people with money already left, like shopkeepers. But you're left, right? Because you can't afford to leave. Oh, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. After destroying my city, that you cleaned it up like 10% of what it was. It's so much better now. I'm going to vote for you. That's how stupid voters are, right? I mean, they voted for a dude for president who literally flooded our country with 20 million illegal aliens, criminals, many of them released from foreign prisons. Think about how stupid voters are, guys. Let's get back into it.
We see decreases.
In fact, since the city launched its crackdown on these break-ins in August, almost all major crime is down. Total crime down 30%, homicides down 30%, larceny theft down more than 40%, burglary 10%. There seems to be a clear cause and effect here. Back in July of 2020, Mayor London Breed helped reallocate $120 million away from law enforcement and instead...
I just thought of something. That the name London, that is reminiscent of London, right? How London has now been flooded with illegal alien foreigners who don't even speak English, who immediately get on welfare and have their wives wear a hefty bag over their head. And all of London, like the natives, the people for thousands of years who have lived in the United Kingdom, are being replaced by people who hate them. Wow. Amazing, right? What do you guys think about that? Give me a bunch of ones if you think that was a good idea for the globalists to do that to their own people.
Prioritizing investments in the African-American community around housing, mental health and wellness, workforce development, economic justice, education, advocacy, and accountability.
But unfortunately for the San Francisco mayor, the damage had already been done. People of San Francisco were tired of the progressive left and these ultra woke policies and decided we're going to go a new direction, and they voted in a new mayor.
Let's begin with breaking news in San Francisco, where Daniel Lurie, the nonprofit founder and heir to the Levi Strauss fortune, will become the city's next mayor. Incumbent Mayor London Breed conceded this afternoon, just minutes after the latest round of election returns.
So a Marxist Democrat just got replaced with another Marxist Democrat. What do you guys think? Kind of reminds you of communist China, right? you only have one political party to pick from, do you really think anything's going to change?
Signaling that her 6-year term in office will soon be coming to an end. So the latest batch of returns this afternoon cemented Lori's lead even further. There's still 143,000 ballots left to count, but so far he's winning 28% of votes in the first round of voting. Breed has 25%. And then when you factor in ranked choice voting and eliminate the other candidates, Lori's advantage.
I mean, check it out, guys. So here's what happened with California, all right? So California realized that they could basically keep the whole state blue with illegal aliens. And the way you do it is you flood the state, you make the state a sanctuary city, and you flood the state with illegal aliens. And then when they do the census, if you have enough illegal aliens living in one blue district, right, because they put them in all the Democrat cities, it splits the district and they get a new representative. And that, my friends, is how California went from a very conservative, pro-family, pro-life state to a Marxist Democrat dumpster fire. All right. That is how they did it. And that is the reason why Sleepy Joe opened our southern border and allowed over 20 million illegal aliens to flee and move into sanctuary cities. That, my friends, is the true reason why he reversed Donald Trump's executive order preventing these people from flooding into our country, and in fact used non-governmental organizations with your tax dollars to pay to invite them to come into your country and even fly them into your country in the middle of the night.
Only grows. And so when all is said and done, he is winning 56% of the final tally, up nearly 13 points from Breed.
So you know what's crazy? This is progressive California who's kicking out their DAs and firing their mayors and going a different direction, a little bit more conservative, would you say? Crime matters, economy matters. These are the things that affect everyday people's lives. But my question to you, is this just a fad or is this a trend? Do you think now people have come to their senses, especially even in these more progressive cities, and said, well, hold on, there's a limit to...
Progressive is another word for Marxist, anti-American, just so you guys know.
How far we can go with this thing. Crime isn't racist. It's something that has to be dealt with in a civilized society. And how do you feel about the mayor saying that, hey, I'm a black woman first? What if a white guy went up there and said that? Hey, I'm a white man first. And would that rub people the wrong way? And that's how I like to think about these things. If we're going to try to live in a society where race doesn't matter, then it shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't matter.
Hey, I'm a radical right-wing lunatic. That's what they say. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, do all that great YouTube stuff. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
By the way, I'm going to show you.
I got to tell you about one of the most corrupt judges in America.
This dude's name is...
she shot.
His name is Nate the Lawyer. And I've reached out to Nate a couple of times. I'm trying to get him to come on my show, but I'm going to drop the link here. Okay, so really quick, everybody. James Forbes is asking what's up with the glasses. Yeah, I know, it looks terrible. So I've got a terrible eye infection. Like, I woke up this morning and my left eye was sealed shut. So I look like Rocky Balboa, like I just got in a fist fight. So I don't want you guys to see me, and I've got these bright lights. So James, that's why I'm wearing the sunglasses. But let's check it out. Hey, what's up? James Forbes, BZ's here in the house. I want to thank BZ Watchdog and Dr. Donna Walter and MPG websites and all my homies that got Dr. Donna Walter. David Peak, who says, dude, shut up and roll the recording. All right, David, I got you, bro. You have the right to remain silent. Thanks for joining me today. DAR, thank you for joining me. And then, of course, Sin City Giggles and Liberty, my favorite. And then Chuck Bronson, who knows how long Chuck stuck around. Just to be blessed with Chuck Bronson's present was an amazing thing. So hopefully he'll pop back in later. But let's get into the next DEI hire corrupt public official. DEI hire corrupt public official, because there's so many of them. But y'all think that it's just so smart to hire unqualified people based upon their race or their gender or who they like to sleep with. And this is an exact result of why that doesn't seem to be working, guys. Let's check it out.
the most powerful woman in Chicago's South Side. But does she use her power for good? People on the internet and in her own community have been calling her the most corrupt mayor in America. And here are some of the things she's been accused of: stripping business licenses away from people that don't contribute to her charity, pay-for-play kickbacks and bribes, taking lavish first-class trips on the taxpayer dime, making the city pay for her own personal ice skating rink, using the taxpayer money as a marketing budget for self-promotion for things like 122 billboards with her face on it, and using tens of thousands of taxpayer money dollars per month to hire a PR firm that's designed to clean up her image. And I'll give her this, her image is tough to clean up. Here's some more reasons why. She double dips as both the mayor of Dolton and the Village of Thornton Township supervisor, and she's made it so that if she's not reelected as supervisor, the incoming person would receive a 90% pay cut. She's racked up credit card debt like she's trying to set a record, and she tells the residents things like better have my money and compares herself to Martin Luther King. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's alleged that she rolls around like a crime boss. Some people claim that she's even gone as far as having the cars of people that oppose her shot up to intimidate them. She rolls around in a convoy of extensive private...
Oh, for reals? She'd be having all the cars shot up if you oppose her. Sounds like maybe she's probably not qualified for the job. What do you guys think? Let's go.
Security, of course, on the taxpayer dollar, and it's said that she has the police force in her pocket partly due to the outrageous amounts of overtime she allows her officers to be paid. Again, on the taxpayer dollar. I hope you're noticing the theme here. Unfortunately for Tiffany and her police chief lapdog, Officer Louis Lacey, I have in my possession receipts, disciplinary forms, documents, and insider information.
Everybody give me a bunch of ones for Kevin Brionarski showing up for me, James Forbes and Brandon Mitchell. And guys, again, I appreciate all you guys. I know you're broke right now, but I really, really appreciate it when you guys buy memberships and you support my channel. If all of you guys could just donate $1.99 to my channel, it would really motivate the hell out of me to try to figure out a way to do these shows more often, because that way I can show my daughter, hey, look, every dollar that I make, I'm going to put it into a Roth IRA for you. I'm trying to teach her how to run a business, and I'm homeschooling her. So any little bit that we can do to help promote Team MPE so I can get back out here and kick some butt for you. All right, here we go.
That we will be diving into in great detail today. Folks, this channel does not stand for bullies. And by the end of my expose, I'm sure you'll draw the conclusion that Tiffany, Officer Lacey, and their cronies are not only bullies of the worst kind, but an absolute disgrace to the title of public servant. The FBI is currently investigating her, so I hope she gets to see this video, but I'm not sure what the Wi-Fi situation is in Cook County Jail. Let's begin.
Thank you, James. Guys, give me a bunch of ones for James Forbes. Make sure to like and subscribe to James' channel. And by the way, before we keep pushing on with this DEI lunacy that was brought on, starting with Barack Hussein and Big Mike, if you guys want to learn about how to become a lawyer with no law degree or undergrad, pick up a copy of my book, My Journey to Becoming a Practicing Lawyer with No Law Degree or Undergrad. I talk about the different states that offer this program or a similar program, and I talk about how I was able to do it just using discipline and spirit, sleeping on park benches. So all of you guys who want to accuse me of like being privileged because I'm white or whatever, you can go F yourselves. I suffered immensely to be able to make it happen on this program, and I find it extremely insulting and offensive that people think that people got where they got because of their skin color. I think it's absolutely absurd. By the way, here's another one, James Forbes. James Forbes just became renewed his membership. Thank you, James, for supporting Team MPE in the principles of the Republic and individual rights and freedom, and away from the mob rules mentality and more into the individual rights and freedom. Remember what Benjamin Franklin said: a democracy is two wolves and a sheep showing up for lunch and deciding what's on the menu. A republic is two wolves and a well-armed sheep showing up to contest the vote. I support the Republic. Give me a bunch of ones if you support the Republic too. Let's get back into the video, guys. Let's do it. Hoorah.
Ain't nothing happening. Was gone 190 some days, but shit, I'm back in next. Pull on this block and put my gloves on just like Michael Jackson.
Hopefully, folks, if you're watching this right now, you have the privilege of living in a democracy. And if you live in a democracy, that means that you've elected people that should represent you and have your best interests at heart. Right now in the United States, we have a crisis.
Really quickly, Donna Walter is absolutely right. You need to teach your kids how to become entrepreneurs. Pull them out of the Marxist education system. College, do you think that a degree in underwater baskets weaving or or gender studies is going to get you a job anywhere else other than a barista at Starbucks. If you teach your kids how to build a YouTube channel, if you teach your son how to be a plumber, right? Teach your daughter how to do internet marketing, they're going to be successful for the rest of their lives, and they'll never vote for these idiots because they'll have enough intelligence to know that God made man and woman equal and that we all have individual rights and freedoms, privileges, and immunities, and we were all created with certain gifts. And you need, as a parent, to develop those gifts in your children. Get them as far away from the rainbow flag mafia and the public school system as you can. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree. Give me a bunch of twos if you think I'm a radical right-wing conspiracy theorist. Let's go.
They're politicians. There's an awful lot of people that are abusing their positions of power to enrich themselves and to you, the citizen. You can look at the national level where we have people like Tommy Tuberville, Nancy Pelosi,
right, David.
U.S. senators and congresspeople that, while being full-time politicians, are also somehow the best stock traders we've ever seen. They're outperforming Wall Street. Today, folks, we look at it at a local level. We're looking at the most corrupt mayor in America. And I have to say allegedly, because this mayor, Tiffany Henyard, she likes using the legal system, people that don't agree with her or speak out against her. She has a lot of cases that have been filed.
Y'all should be ashamed of y'all, y'all black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman.
I want to avoid being dragged into court by her. So I'm going to say this is all alleged. This is all my opinion. And we'll let the FBI, who's also in town right now, determine the facts of the case. We're speaking to a lot of people angry, upset, and ready to speak out against this mayor for all the egregious things she's allegedly done. So folks, let's pull up, let's hit the streets, and let's dive into this story.
Let's do
it.
Couldn't think, couldn't even eat, couldn't even sleep without it. They locked my dog up for an errand, I don't want to speak about it.
Mayor Tiffany, hero or villain?
She's a villain. She really don't be doing nothing for us. She tried to make a big show, a big act, but she's not doing stuff that really needs to be done.
We heard that the FBI is in town looking into her.
They are.
What is she allegedly guilty of, do you think?
Stealing that money. Because you know her family work with her. Most likely she's stealing money and giving it to her family and using it for herself instead of giving it to the people that actually need it.
Exactly.
And she be having her names all on the trucks and stuff. Like, it be everywhere.
Bills obtained by Fox 32 under open records laws shows Thornton Township paid more than $10,000 for the vinyl signs themselves.
If you could speak with her directly, anything you would say to Tiffany?
Do better.
Did you know the mayor, Tiff?
Hold on, BZ Watchdog's really upset at me, guys. He keeps on telling me, if you don't comply and tell people to come watch BZ Watchdog show tonight and tomorrow and make sure to like and subscribe to all BZ Watchdog shorts, that someone's going to show up at your front door tonight from the Democrat Party and ask you, hold on,
Mav,
they're going to ask you this.
where are your papers? Mav, where are they? Oh, you don't have any papers? Do the Constitution come with you?
That's right. The Nazi Party, the same party who pushed vegetarianism, the same party who pushed abortion, euthanasia, right? Those guys are going to show up to your front door tonight if you don't do what BZ Watchdog says and watch his show. So make sure you do it, guys. Make sure to go check out BZ Watchdog's show. Just kidding, guys. We're just having fun tonight, man. Trying to have some fun. BZ Watchdog's he's an inactive U.S. Marine like me, but he's a better Marine than me. Better looking for sure. And he definitely is better at doing videos. So make sure to check out BZ Watchdog. Check out his channel. He's got some good stuff, guys. Check him out.
Tiffany? Yeah. Hero or villain? Villain! He's a gangster. Going up to the administration building, we're meeting trustees, people that are our public servants and want to speak out against her. Let's see who we have gathered. So Mayor Tiffany, hero or villain?
From what I know,
You're welcome,
villain.
Robert.
The security guards is getting like 300 hours on their checks and stuff.
The officers are paid every 2 weeks, which without overtime is 80 hours. But when they're put on Henyard's detail, that 80 hours balloons to well over 100 hours, sometimes 200 hours. And in the case of Officer Terry Young last May, 303 hours worked over a 2-week period. That resulted in a single paycheck of more than $13,000.
How does a person put in a 2-week pay period, 303 hours? That's impossible.
How are you securing somebody in your sleep? How are you getting 300 hours so you know that she's pulling money from somewhere? I don't know where. She's not pulling out her butt. So
Rocking some new attire, okay? Rip mainstream media. They've tried to attack.
Hey, you hear that? She ain't keistering. She ain't keistering, guys. Where's she getting that money? It's coming from the taxpayer. That's where it's coming from.
me this channel because we stand for truth and actually talking to people. So if you want to join the resistance, join the movement, link is in the description. And I'm actually going to FaceTime 3 people that by the next 48 hours, I'm picking 3 of you to FaceTime, talk to you, connect to you. So join the movement, link in description.
Oh yeah, I like this guy.
What do you expect of a mayor when you elect them? What kind of behavior do you expect?
Leadership, inclusiveness.
What is a trustee?
The governing bodies. We maintain the finances, amend, and make laws for the community.
Now, if she does indeed go to prison for this, will you be putting any money on her commissary?
No.
Hey, go! What's up, homie?
Scapegoat to intimidate, retaliate. People speak against her. They're giving people tickets. It's just a lot of stuff.
The police are in her pocket?
Yes.
Are they on her payroll or what?
Police are payroll.
Do you think she's a hero or a villain?
A villain. She is spending all the village of Dolton tax dollars and Thornton tax.
Well, hold on a minute, guys. I got a question for you. Do you think that this woman who says the mayor is a villain is racist for saying the mayor's a villain? I want to know what you think. Do you think she's a racist, bigot, and a homophobe because she doesn't want a corrupt Democrat running her city anymore? What do you guys think? I want to know what your opinion is. And by the way, if you disagree and you think that she is a villain, one of her police may show up to your front door and ask you this question. Hold on a minute, guys. One of her police may show up and ask you,
"Where are your papers, Mav? Where are they?" Oh, you don't have any papers?
that may happen. Gotta be careful out there, guys. Careful what you say. You don't want to be accused of being a racist, bigot, or homophobe, man. Or those guys may show up at your front door like they do in the United Kingdom right now to this very day, and in Germany.
Township, which is part of the village of Dolton.
This is Valeria Stubbs, a vocal critic of the mayor who believes her home was shot up at the request of the mayor, stemming from a bitter feud they had last summer. Asked if she believed that Henyard was behind the shooting, Stubbs did not hesitate. Absolutely, she told the New York Post.
We have some of the highest taxes, property taxes in the Southland. And because we have a food desert out here, lack of businesses, we need all the tax dollars that we can get. She created Greenwood Falls ice skating rink that is never opened, that does not generate any revenue whatsoever.
It's your mayor, Tiffany A. Henyard, the people's mayor. We're finally in the second phase of Greenwood Falls. And remember, we do this for you residents because we care. You come first.
I saw a video where she was in the ice rink having a party.
Only when she's having something is the ice skating rink open.
So she basically has a personal ice rink that she's funded through taxpayer dollars and gets to use for her own parties.
Yes. When she went to a board meeting and dressed as Nino Brown, said that the residents blink better have her money.
What's being referred to right now is the town hall meeting when Mayor Tiffany walked in dressed as Nino Brown from the movie New Jack City with the Rihanna song playing in the background, "Better Have My Money," as a message to her residents.
Every single resident. Pay me what you owe me.
What she fails to realize is that that is not her money. That is the taxpayer money. But this is much bigger than Mayor Tiffany. This is a larger trend around the country of public servants and institutions showing that they have no regard where our money goes or how they piss it away. For example, the Department of Defense has failed their audit the last 10 years in a row and are unable to account for up to $3.1 trillion worth of assets. They are accountable to us. We fund them. So my question to them is, where is our money? And they need to answer that. There's two sides of this. There's the township and the village, and she kind of double dips. She's the mayor of the...
She's the mayor of the village.
She's the mayor of the village, and she's also a supervisor
for the Thornton Township.
And combined, her income from this job is...
I say over $300,000 a year because she get perks too.
Oh, yeah. So she would make it that if the next person that gets elected would get $25,000.
Right.
So that's a kind of way to ice out the competition.
And look, guys, hold on. I just want to share something with you. It's not just these DEI hire mayors and city whatevers. Like in Nevada, the Nevada Metro cops, they get free lunches. They can go to pretty much any casino and eat for free, right? And they also get the additional perks of like overtime and time and a half to provide security for all these events like races and, concerts, like if Metallica comes into town and plays. So, it's we the people who put these so-called public servants in charge. It's really our fault, right? But when you vote for a Marxist Democrat, you're supporting the deep state and big government. And that's why I decided I'm a recovering Democrat. Now I'm a libertarian and I support less government, because less government means what? Type it in the sidebar, guys. Less government means what? More. Less government means more let's see it. Let's spell the word freedom. Say it, guys. Freedom. Type it in the sidebar for me. Less government means more freedom. That's what it's all about. Let's get back to the video, guys. Let's do it.
Was appointed to that position, not elected. If she was elected to that position, that salary would go down, and I believe it was approximately $50,000.
The FBI is in town. Do you think Tiffany knows she's cooked, or do you think she thinks she's innocent, or what do you think?
I really don't think that she thinks she's going to jail. I'm also a former Cook County Sheriff for the Department of Correction, and I suggest that she go and take a tour of that facility so she can see what's in store for her.
That's, folks, you don't need to be a corrupt mayor.
Hey, let me tell you something about these ladies at the DOC. You do not want to mess with one of these Department of Correction women. They can see right through a bullshitter like that. I'm just telling you. I mean, you may hate cops or whatever, but these DOC ladies, they are badasses. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree. Give me a bunch of twos if you think I'm a deep stater, because I have respect for people who want to keep criminals and scumbags behind bars.
Need a lawyer. Is it fair to say that Mayor Tiffany probably needs a good lawyer?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Everyone needs a lawyer. Everyone should have a lawyer in their back pocket. I have lawyers in my circle, and they're very helpful. Here's why. Life can happen.
Right, Robert.
One day you can be walking down the street and you get hit by a car. You get attacked by a dog. In situations like these, you need a lawyer. You can check out Morgan & Morgan. They are the nation's
check out Morgan &
largest
Morgan,
personal injury firm.
Check out my competitors, Morgan & Morgan. Go ahead and give them a call. They advertise all over the place. Let's see if you can get their lead attorney on the phone.
Transparency. There isn't much back and forth as far as, hey, this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it, things of that nature. But then it also goes into different things like types of accommodations and things. And I know a lot of people have heard things about that as far as like,
you don't need to be in the Bellagio
exactly.
penthouse.
If you're going to get the stipend, then you use it for your meals, you use it for your transportation, things like that. You don't go then and put everything on, say, the township credit card.
They say if you want to find the truth, the best way to do it is to follow the money. So we obtained the Thornton Township credit card statements through a Freedom of Information Act request and got to digging. When we looked through these, we noticed that Tiffany herself does not have a credit card. However, another one of her lapdogs, Thornton Township and Village of Dolton Administrator Keith Freeman, has made some awfully suspect.
Check it out. Guys, really? What do you think's going on here? What do you think's going on here, guys? So she gives her man a credit card, hires him, right? I think the same thing happened in one of the Trump prosecutions where you had this DEI hire Soros prosecutor going after Trump, and she was paying like the lead prosecutor like $500,000 a year. The guy had zero experience. He was a horrible attorney to begin with, and she got caught. Remember that? Like the lawfare. Looks like it's happening again right here, doesn't it? I mean, come on, guys. That's what I don't like, is that people get to hide behind their race to rip off the taxpayers, and they get to play the race card. And that's a real problem for me. That's why we need to get rid of all this DEI and all this race-based BS and start just being Americans. If we got attacked by Mars tomorrow, or we got attacked by a foreign country, there would be no more white American, African American. We would just be Americans. And that's what I'm hoping that we'll have. I just want us to all be Americans and get along. I want to build a better place for my children. What about you guys? Let's keep going.
Purchases in the last year. Take, for example, a round-trip flight from Chicago to DC. Despite an economy ticket running about $200, Tiffany and Keith booked flights on the Thornton taxpayer dollar for $1,265 each. That's first class, folks. Another set of transactions is the Bliss Beauty, a local hair salon. $565 on January 16th, $1,225 on February 3rd, and $1,735 on February 19th of 2023. Now, my question for Keith and his purchase of $5,400 on beauty supplies is, are these wigs for you? And if that case, slay queen, or are you secretly buying wigs for Mayor Tiffany and running up the taxpayer dollar for her? Next, let's talk dining. Mayor Tiffany and her comrades love spending money on extravagant meals, like $427 at Theo's Steak and Seafood and $426 at Hamada of Japan are just the tip of the iceberg. In fact, in the first 2 billing periods of 2023, Keith Freeman spent $5,900 towards meals on the Thornton Township card. Which begs the question, folks, is this illegal or merely unethical? Because to me, a public servant should not be balling out on the taxpayer dime. The question of legality is not for me to decide. I'll let the FBI handle that one. Let's just say Tiffany watches this video, and you could say a message directly to her. What would you want to say?
Just resign.
just leave. Let
Hell
me
yeah.
do my job.
If you're going to be a public servant, you better act like it or get the hell out. I'll see you in jail.
I would like for you to repent for the sins
Amen,
that you
sister.
have
That's
done,
right.
or go to jail.
That's right. We've gone through all this where there's no transparency,
Hell yeah.
seeing where money's been misspent, unfortunately. It's beyond something I think that could be repaired and fixed at this time. It's time to go.
Pulling up to a strip mall to talk to a business owner, Dr. Scott, that has been screwed by the mayor. Let's see what she has to say. Next, we meet Dr. Scott, who recently bought a strip mall in Dolton. She's trying to bring much needed services to the community, like a free food bank that functions like a grocery shop. But she's struggling against Mayor Tiffany's attempts to drown her out. Everyone I asked about Dr. Scott says she's like a saint and can't believe this is happening to her. Let's meet her and hear her story. Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. We're a nonprofit organization.
Hey guys, doesn't this kind of remind you really quick of the so-called auditor community, right? Where you have all these influencers who all hate each other because they're all vying for the top spot. And clearly this woman who's doing the right thing is a threat to the mayor's power because she may run for mayor. And so like that's why we should have term limits, and we should listen to what Thomas Aquinas said. We should only allow people in positions of power who are moral and just, people who don't want the job, people who do not want the job. Thomas Aquinas made it clear that you should only allow people to be in positions of power who know the law and mean to keep it well. And you clearly don't want criminals like it looks like we're getting right now just because of their gender or their skin color. That's just not the way to do it, guys. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree that we should be trying to put people in power who are better than us and who don't want the job. What do you guys think? I want to know what you guys think. Put it in the comments. Tell me what you think.
Organization. We acquired this entire strip mall to bring additional programs and services to not just Dolton, but the Southland of Cook County. The shelves aren't full now, but by tomorrow we will have all the shelves full, and the numbers indicate how much of each item they can have. This area here, when we purchased the property, the idea was to open up, a thrift store to give people access to quality items. We have not been able to do that.
How long has this been sitting vacant for?
July.
And you still have to pay property taxes.
Yes.
You still have to pay rent. You still have to pay overhead, insurance,
I
all of that.
still have mortgage. I still have insurance. I do partner with other organizations that give me volunteers, but I do have a small team that we have to pay payroll because we still function. We still try to serve the community by having the grocery store available.
If this isn't able to be funded, whose pocket does it come out of right now?
Mine.
Cities can have layers of bureaucracy that keep you from running your business and making money. And the longer that they keep this vacant, the longer that you have to foot the bill, and the longer that they cost their own people. This in particular makes me mad because when you see someone actually willing to take a risk like she is and they're preventing her from doing it, it's not a good thing.
All of this space is to expand the grocery store. Right now, it's just being used as storage. Now, this room here is when we're able to do a pop-up fundraiser. We have things that have been donated to us that we sell to the community. All the clothes and things you see are $1, shoes are $2.
Wow.
I received a letter from the village telling me that.
So guys, give me a bunch of ones for this lady, and I'm going to try to find out her contact information so we can send her some money. This is the kind of person that we should have as a mayor, right? We need to have somebody who puts other people first, not some ghetto freaking P. Diddy gangster rap freak. We need to have somebody who actually is a woman of God who puts her neighbors first. This is what I've been trying to tell you guys. Let's keep going.
I needed to have these 6 things in order for them to even begin to think about giving me permits. And that package
Christian.
was
Absolutely.
architectural
Amen,
drawings,
brother.
which I've already submitted to the village, but they want to have a state certification stamp on those drawings and just a number of different things that they were asking for as though I were building a building. I'm trying to do simple renovations to get us back up and running.
Flooring,
And
paint, lights.
they're requiring us to do a number of things that someone who is building a structure would need to do. For the type of work I'm trying to do, it doesn't require everything that they were listing. They wanted to come in and do a occupancy inspection. I didn't request the occupancy inspection, and so I said, no, you cannot do it.
Because what they were trying to do is come in and write you up.
That's right.
Absolutely, to shut me
Absolutely.
down. When we were closed down for 2 weeks because we
Get a warrant, mother effers. Get a freaking warrant.
It flooded. There was a mother who drove up with 3 kids in the car asking if we were open because she didn't know how she was going to feed her kids. That is what matters to me.
If you could say a direct message to Tiffany, what would you say right now?
It's really unfortunate that you sit in a seat of yes power. In my eyes, you did not do the right thing. I have no idea why you chose to stop something that could benefit the community that you love. You know, you grew here.
Because she sees this woman as a threat to her political power. Because this is someone, she's a new money mayor. She's never had to work for anything in her life. She probably got affirmative action or DEI'd into college or school. She's never had to work a day in her life. Everything's been handed to her. She's been able to play the race card and victim all of her life. And this woman who supports her fellow people in her community and wants to do the right thing and built a business from the ground up is looked upon as the enemy by this mayor. What do you guys think? That's my summation. What do you think?
Everybody else flew here. But I said to you when I met with you to see my heart and know that I want to help the community.
Faith, hope, and love. That's what it should be about.
One way we fight corruption is with our vote. Another way is with our dollar. I'm going to donate $500 of my own money to this cause to keep this food pantry open and running so that the city can't squash her out of business, so she can help the people. I started the Rally Around Dr. Scott GoFundMe. I put $500 of my own dollars in. Let's flood this lady with money. Let's see what we can do as a YouTube community. And this is also a way to stand against Mayor Tiffany. Link is in my description. Let's blow her up. Thank you, guys. Let's blow it up. Let's fund this. And let's give a big, giant you to the Mayor Tiffany. If you try to approach her township, her fortress, what happens?
The police gonna come and
I'm up for the challenge. Let's head over to her township and see if we can speak to her or people that might know more about the story.
Do an audit, guys. We're going to do an audit.
If you need bond money, just call me.
Hell yeah.
Hello there. Yeah, as you can tell, some of the city officials don't want to talk about what's been going on, but let's talk about the motorcade that Tiffany uses to roll around town like she's some sort of crime boss. We did some digging and we found the receipt from the car dealership that Tiffany leased these Tahoes from. On just one of these Tahoes, with a retail price of $93,000, Tiffany overpaid by nearly $56,000. I don't know if she's the worst negotiator on the planet or if there's something fishy going on here, but this is a shining example of how Tiffany has failed the hardworking taxpayers of Dolton. It's purchases like this that has led the town to be millions of dollars in the deficit. We're probably not going to be able to talk to many of these people because they know that they're guilty.
Hey, check out that gangsta Tahoe. Dang, she running that place like she thinks she's Snoop Dogg #2. Yeah.
Allegedly, but let's go into the township and see what we can find. I love bringing justice to a city. Is Mayor Tiffany, would you say, a hero or villain?
Hero, of course.
Why is that?
Everything she's promised, she's done. You get the garbage picked up properly. There are a lot of improvements. Like,
nice.
She has an amusement park for the kids on Greenwood Avenue.
Are you a citizen? Are you an employee of the city?
I'm a citizen. Yeah, I've lived here for almost 32 years.
Could we talk to some people who are really upset about some of her spending? She's buying $150,000 vehicles, the fact that she's bought an ice rink basically for herself. The naysayers are saying some really damning things about her. What do you think about that?
There's this drumbeat to try to remove her. I don't know if it's because of her youth or what it is.
So would you say financially she's spending the taxpayer money?
So listen, this dude was just confronted with reckless spending. What does he do? He tries to spin it and say, oh, I don't know if it's because of her youth. So how much do you guys want to bet that this guy probably is in on the conspiracy to defraud these people of their money? Somehow he's getting a kickback, or he's getting some kind of a job or something. Or maybe he's finally getting his trash picked up after 30 years of not getting his trash picked up, and he doesn't want to rock the boat. Maybe he's cool with that. But do you like the way he turned it around and said, oh, maybe it's because of her youth? I mean, are you kidding me? He was just confronted that she's buying Tahoes, building a skating rink for herself, and wasting the taxpayers' money. And what is his response? Maybe it's because of her youth. I mean, do you think this guy is unbiased? As a lawyer, I look at that. I'm going to call him under 776 of the evidence code as a hostile witness. I'm going to assume right away he's biased and that he's got a stake in this whole thing, that he's part of the conspiracy. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree. Let's get into it.
Money appropriately.
I think so.
Why do you think the FBI is in town right now?
There's a lot of hubbub and a lot of stuff going around, that people talking. And me personally, as a citizen of the city, I haven't seen anything overt.
We just talked to business owners across the street in that
Wait a
strip
minute.
mall that are not getting
Hold on a
permitted
minute.
and licensed to open up
Wait,
things that will.
he hasn't seen anything overt. She's spending like $100,000 Tahoes with custom rims for her boyfriends and her fellow cop buddies. She dresses like a gangster rapper. She thinks that she's Cardi B, and she builds herself a skating rink that's basically only used for political campaign ads and for her own personal parties, right, guys? But he's saying he hasn't seen anything overt. Just based upon that, he's disqualified as a witness.
Help the community. A lot of these people are saying because they don't donate directly to her campaign, you get stripped of your business license or you're not granted a business license.
Oh, that's interesting. I've never heard of that. If there's such a thing going on, yes, that's sure. I'm hearing a lot of allegations, but I have not seen anything concrete.
Wait, he hasn't seen anything. He hasn't seen the skating rink. He hasn't seen the cars, the Escalades, and all the special expensive stuff for all of her political cronies. This dude's out of here. You're out of here, dude. You're DQ.
Oh, sir. Hey, good. How you guys doing? Oh, good. We're just doing a story. We've heard controversy about the mayor, and we're here to see if she's a hero or a villain. What is your take, sir?
No, I don't have a take. I'm saying, what are you here for? You're just taking.
She's riding spinners. She's riding spinners. Woo, woo. She's riding spinners. She's riding spinners. How much do you want to bet this guy is one of her people who thinks it's perfectly okay to rip off the taxpayer as long as you're getting a piece of the action, too? What do you guys think?
We're running a video right now.
But you got to get permission to do that.
Oh, you got to get permission.
I don't
You got to get permission to exercise the First Amendment in my town. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this guy's definitely part of the deep state, leftist, commie, Democrat mafia. What do you guys think? Give me a bunch of ones if you think he's part of the Democrat mafia in this town.
So, this is a public area, huh? Okay. Which means you get to film in public. There she is, right there. Oh, wait, this is a public area?
Yeah, but we don't. You have to get pictures of people here. You cannot be in here.
Wait, isn't this a public area though?
You can't be with the cameras. Come on out. Come on out.
Wait, gentlemen. Wait, this is a public area.
Come on out, gentlemen.
Can you ask that
Sir,
question?
step out, please.
Is this a public area?
Sir, please step out.
I don't think this is illegal.
Sir?
That's a police officer saying that.
Wait a minute. Look, this is the problem. Where are your papers? What's going on?
Where are your papers, Matt? Where are they? Oh, you don't have any papers?
Ah, that's what's going on. So you can see it really doesn't have much to do with race, does it? It has to do with political ideology, doesn't it? Let's keep going.
Sir, can you explain to us a little bit? The man you see here is Deputy Chief Lacey. While you might look at him and think he's a Walmart version of Detroit urban survival, he actually is a man with a disciplinary report thicker than the Bible. He currently has 3 active lawsuits against him. All 3 of them allege violations of the Constitution for the acts he is committing. Let me share some of his past actions with you so you can get a picture of the man he is. Let's start with his petty incidents. One of his reports details him threatening the water company over a $300 bill he didn't want to pay. He's also known for trying not to pay tolls when he drives through them. But things get more serious. Many residents have banded together to note his excessive use of force and his use of the taser. In a 2012 incident, he was sued for 4th Amendment constitutional violations due to excessive force. Lacey lost this case and the judge ordered payment of $12,000 for the incident. In the summer of 2021, 19-year-old Alexis Wilson was shot 7 times and killed by Dolton police. Her mom emailed us twice, pleading with us to expose officers.
Oh, wait, I have a word from the spokesman for the mayor. Hold on. It's coming. It's coming. I got a word from the spokesman for the mayor here. Hold on. You guys ready? Give me a bunch of ones if you're ready to hear what the spokesman for the mayor has to say. Breaking news. Breaking news. Here's the spokesman for the mayor.
But that ass, I gotta stop. My rails so shiny, they clear like flash screen plasma gas. Like when they see them, it's hard to breathe like they got asthma. Older people tripping because.
Oh. What's that?
They think they see.
Hold on. Hold on. We got to catch this. We got to catch it. What's going on?
Like a Chinese, I'm drinking on the high knee.
Yeah. All right. Man, I couldn't quite get the one that I wanted, man. I was trying to get the spinners, but you know what I'm saying. You know how we do it.
Officer Lacey. Activists Carlos West and Rabbi Michael Ehline protested this killing 7 days later, exercising their constitutional right to free speech. However, their rights were violated by Officer Lacey once again when he ordered their arrest without due cause. They filed a lawsuit, and on March 4th, both of these men were awarded $50,000 in settlements. This is one of Mayor Tiffany's lead lapdogs that she uses to control the town through his goonish actions. Another case he was involved in resulted in the largest settlement in Cook County history.
Oh, wait, hold on a minute. What do you have to say about this spokesman for the mayor? What do you think?
They don't stop rap spinners.
Oh my goodness. I think they don't like it. They just want to ride their spinners.
$5 million.
You guys step over there on public property.
This is not public property. Where is the public
Sir,
property?
have a good day.
Can you not answer my question, sir?
Do you have ID? In Illinois, you have to have ID. Do you have ID?
Wait a minute.
What is the thing you suspect us of doing?
You have to have ID. I think this guy agrees. What do you guys think? I think this guy agrees that in Illinois you have to have ID.
Where are your papers, Mav? Where are they? Oh, you don't have any papers?
Oh, let's get back into it. We got to hear what Colonel Klink over here with the dark-skinned version of Colonel Klink has to say about having an ID in order to exercise your First Amendment rights. You know what I'm saying?
I'm asking you.
This is a public taxpayer area that we're now being
Step over here, sir.
hassled.
Step over here.
The goons have come out.
Okay.
Here this is quite a response for people doing the storm.
Keep walking, sir.
How many police vehicles are coming for this?
What exactly are you guys trying to accomplish?
The mayor. Is she a hero or a villain?
No.
This is part of the convoy too, guys. The taxpayer sponsored Tahoe's right there at $150K for a vehicle. Oh wow! That's
Run me
more
over.
guys on
Wisconsin
the
plate.
scene. I can tell you, sir, I'm not riding dirty in the snow. There's nothing there.
Sir, can you do me a favor?
Sure.
Can you have your guys sit in the car, please?
What? No.
You sure?
You want us to do something off camera? I'm surrounded by 6 people. I'm not going to about to do
Yeah,
that.
step back real quick.
Can you please tell me why you refuse to say what the public areas that you want me to go to? Tommy G, they call me. Milwaukee representative.
Everybody cams on.
In Milwaukee, you can literally steal a car and rob a bank and not this many cops show up. So once I come up clean, then what?
Who else got ID?
State of Illinois, you're supposed to have ID.
Go get your ID.
For what?
Hey, go get your ID. Unlock the car so you can get his ID.
It's not a request.
Oh, it's not a request.
Not at all.
You know you're lying. In Illinois.
For what?
Get it right. I know who you are. Got your information. Get it right.
That sounds like a threat.
Yep.
Hey, dude, nice job. You're valid. Good for you.
Hey, so talk about hypocrisy, right? These are the same people who cry, right? DEI. You're discriminating against the minority, and here they're doing the same exact crap.
Where are your papers, Mav? Where are they? Oh, you don't have any papers?
I don't see any difference in what this 3-6 Mafia Police Department, Riding Spinners Police Department is doing than what Colonel Klink was doing during Hogan's Heroes. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree.
You go, fuck. Okay, gentlemen, have a good day.
Are you going to get in your vehicle? I'll get in mine, you get in yours?
Hey, go to your car. Have a good day.
What the f*** is going on, these motherfuckers? That's intimidation. This is why the trustees did not want us to come here. Jesus fucking Christ.
Got our own personal
Is this something that someone that's innocent would be doing? Look, business.
How much do you guys think those cops are getting paid per year? I would say minimum $150K a year. They all vote for her, and they'll throw any of her political enemies in jail. Sounds just like the Biden administration, doesn't it?
Shut down, and shut down. Mayor Tiffany, when you go to jail, there will be many people applauding it.
I think there's only 20 police officers or something like that in Dolton.
Holy shit! Wow! Oh my God.
Oh yeah, that's Deputy Chief Lacey. He's the biggest jerk of all.
Officer Lacey, you want to handle this like a real man? I will pay you a week's salary. Any gym in Illinois or Wisconsin, I'll meet you there. Handle it like men. If I lose, I give it to you. If I win, donate to charity. And I'm pretty sure you're going to keep your little butt in the office. You're not going to take up a real challenge. I don't with bullies. You try messing with the water bill company when they're trying to collect their bill from you. You try messing with the toll people. You have a long history, longer than a Harry Potter book, of you messing with the citizens of your city. Come here like a real man and sort it out, or you can stay your scared little butt in the office. You pick. You're built like a potato.
Funny. I didn't even get to the part where
Is that
I tell
not a
you
public area?
that she's had me arrested.
What?
Yes, for picking up her campaign literature off my windshield of my car.
You got cuffed.
Yes. 8 months of them continuing, the court hearing for the case to be dropped by the state's attorney's office for lack of evidence.
Was where we were public area?
Yes.
Inside and outside.
100%.
We were escorted out, made it seem like we were doing something illegal, taking our IDs, pressed. They wouldn't tell them that if we didn't give them our ID, they were going to do something. He had threats to us. You've done the FOIA request. You have all the documents. What kind of stuff have you seen in those documents that catches your attention?
Things that stand out, obviously, are the travel. I mean, it's huge. About 2 trips a month, 3 to 6 days for every trip. I would say 95% of them are unrelated to the township. You know, she went to Portland, Oregon for some conference called Her Voice, like women empower leading other women to God. Anybody who knows when you're using taxpayer funds, when you start putting religion into it, it's a touchy situation because you govern in the township 190,000 voters. Not all of them believe the same thing you do.
How is she living when she goes on these trips?
It's outside of her own pay scale. That's how she's living. She's not living a $300,000 a year life like she's making. She's living a $1 million life because she's keeping her money and spending ours. You get a $600 per day per diem. You don't turn in receipts for those.
Which is a very generous per diem.
You shouldn't be swiping the credit card for anything, ma'am. Why do I see all of your meals on here? Why do I see your hotels on here?
What kind of hotel does she stay in? Is it fancy?
Yeah, Hyatt, Hilton's, Four Seasons.
Four Seasons?
Oh, yeah, you name it. Just the best of everything for her. Flying first class to Las Vegas. Her and Keith Freeman. I know the news didn't say that. He put out her $3,700 flight for herself.
She bought a $3,700 flight to Las Vegas?
But Keith Freeman's flight was the same amount. Her and Carmen Carlisle had, $1,600 flight to Atlanta.
Where is she eating? What kind of places is she going to when she eats on the road?
Steakhouses, lobster, anything you could think of that would be high-end dining. For the most part, that's where they're eating. Now, that looked a little different in their little bike ride to Springfield for her non-for-profit. On those trips, they stayed at Hampton Inn. They're bike riding, and they have a full-on DJ being pulled on a trailer behind them. I mean, they're blocking off streets for this.
What else is outrageous that you've seen now that you're privy to the book?
Hey, hold on, guys. She had a DJ. I wonder if he was riding spinners. What do you guys think, man? You think he was riding spinners?
The amount of money she's spending on her PR, that's probably running Thornton Township about $25,000 a month.
So taxpayers, they're not only paying for the front end of all the bad stuff she's spending money on, but they're paying for the PR cleanup on the back end as well.
Absolutely.
What would it take to just remove her from office?
She was recalled. The residents voted to remove her from office.
What was the percentage vote to recall her?
It was about 56%. We were at about 1,900 to remove her and about 1,300 said to leave her.
Her salary is $224,000, but if she doesn't get reelected, the person that takes over will get $25,000, and that's a way to deter people from running against her.
The previous supervisor was in his 9th term. Now you can see the $200,000 salary because he worked for it for 32 years.
Yeah.
She keeps his salary because the law for township municipalities says if you take over his term, you complete the term. Whereas in a regular municipality, like if a mayor passed away and the board appointed somebody, the next municipal election, that mayor would have to run. That seat would be up. But in the township, it doesn't work that way. You finish the entire term. My previous boss had passed away 8 months into his term, so she had a full 3 years to finish. So she gets to keep his pay. What would happen though if she ran in 2025 and she won? She would have went to a first term salary. The pay scale was changed dramatically because she made it that she keeps the salary she has now. Anybody else goes down to 25. There's no more salaries by term. She removed that.
Is there anything positive you can say about this?
I will say she has some ideas that I think are great. You know, the ice rink, it's beautiful. Visually, it looks nice. Had that been done right and had there been a plan in place, a plan for revenue, a plan, for long-term maintenance, a plan on how we were going to bring people out to make sure that the cost was covered at minimum. This could have been good things for the community. Because of the choice to always do things in a me manner, it never feels like it's for the community. All of the qualities that we see now that are like these big beast qualities, those were all there when she was just little Tiffany Henyard that was a trustee here in Dolton. They just magnified with the money and the power.
I got let go from the township. I was the maintenance manager 20 years. I was getting ready to retire. I went on vacation. Came back off vacation. I was locked out of my office. Was told that I had to see Keith Freeman for my keys. I sat up at the township 3 days in the lobby, getting paid, waiting for my keys. And on the 4th day, I said, forget it. I just took 2 sick days. Then that Friday, I got...
his problem is, guys, he wasn't riding spinners, man. I think that's what the issue was. What do you guys think? Do you think if this dude here that's complaining had been riding spinners that things would have been different for him? I want to know what y'all think. What do you guys think? Let's ask him. Yeah, that's what I think. I think if he was riding spinners, that would have been it.
Termination. letter saying I was terminated.
And so your benefits from retiring, or did you not have access to that?
She didn't mess with that at all.
We got harassed by Officer Lacey. What can you say about him?
He's one of the mayor's lynchmen. He just got appointed that spot when the other police chief resigned.
Is there anything in the books that reflect that police officers are getting kickbacks from the mayor?
Oh, they're overtime. It averages about 100 hours a pay period for her security. The one he had 303 hours on one biweekly pay period.
Most of that at an overtime rate.
Yep.
A $13,000 check.
Absolutely.
And that's a cop or security guard?
It was her security guard.
Folks, this channel does not stand for bullies, so I'm happy to put out this piece about Tiffany and Officer Lacey. I hope that town gets cleaned up soon. And folks, just a reminder to contribute to Dr. Scott's GoFundMe. Let's help her out. And last
Guys,
thing,
give me a bunch of
RIP,
money for this
mainstream media. The independents like me are taking over, and they don't like that.
Right, hold on, just give me 1 second, guys. I want to share this with you. I'm going to drop this link for you to check out his channel. I'm going to also try to find out this other woman's GoFundMe account. But there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's always guys like you. It's always guys like you, Chili DeCastro, Reluctant Prophet, Chucky Baby. You guys, because of your work, we're able to make positive change, right? And let's see the positive change. Let's see what the result is of us people fighting back against this corruption. All right.
In the meantime, very different scene of what was supposed to be Tiffany Henyard's watch party.
WGN's Ben Bradley has her message following the defeat.
Tiffany Henyard was a no-show for her election night party after it became clear that she would lose in a landslide. I did speak with her by phone. She said she accepts the election results. She said, "The people have spoken, and God must have a different plan for me." It was a far cry from the tone that she struck earlier in the day when she insisted that she would win in spectacular fashion.
Hey, y'all.
Well, Tiffany.
How y'all doing?
Tiffany Henyard defiant on this decision day in Dolton. Is there anything in hindsight that you would have done differently over these last 4 years?
Yeah, I would have told
Not been a corrupt piece of shit Democrat, maybe? What do you guys think?
on the trustees sooner.
The trustees she refers to are her former allies. 4 years ago, they ran as a slate with Henyard promising transparency and accountability. Instead,
Mayor, we've left you voicemail messages. We had to go to the Illinois Attorney General's office to get you to turn over documents.
residents got a self-proclaimed super mayor who spent tax dollars on travel, self-promotion, and a questionable cancer charity. All of it exposed by WGN Investigates, and now the subject of an ongoing FBI investigation. But why should residents pay for you to stay at the Four Seasons and a $10,000 bill in
We're
New
talking
York?
about
First class
the
travel.
election today. So you guys want some good
Those
footage?
issues are
Some
on
good
the
things from me?
ballot.
We've been talking about the same thing for 4 years.
Hey, y'all, what do you think of her weave? I think that we should definitely all find out where she buys her weave so we know where not to buy a weave. You know what I'm saying? What do you guys think?
Yes, I've answered every question possible.
You've never answered
So if you guys want to talk about me winning this seat this evening, let's go. I'll sit down with any of you. I want some positive press for a change.
Local Democrats refused to slate Henyard for her other job, Thornton Township Supervisor, but she told me that she plans to run as a write-in candidate. That election is April 1st. She also said she's not ruling out a run for higher office, but wouldn't speculate about what that could be. She could, though, have bigger problems if the ongoing FBI investigation leads to charges.
Nothing will happen. All these people are corrupt, both parties. They're all in on it. What do you guys think? All right, let's get into the next DEI hire disaster. Thanks to Barry Sotero and his DEI woke mafia that destroyed our country. Let's get into it.
Joining us tonight, first up here at 6 o'clock, Tampa's top cop is out. Just 10 months after getting picked for the job, Mayor Jane Castor today asked for and received Police Chief Mary O'Connor's resignation. This comes after video showed her asking for special treatment during a traffic stop. She and her husband were pulled over for not having a license plate on their golf cart. O'Connor pulled out her badge and told a Pinellas County deputy she was Tampa's chief of police. Fox 13's Evan Axelbank now takes a look at what comes next.
The mayor said today that she has no regrets over her selection of Mary O'Connor to be the police chief, even though her record as an officer was not spotless. The city is about to go through its second national search for a police chief in just 2 years.
The mayor sat for a one-on-one interview a few hours after accepting the resignation of Police Chief Mary O'Connor over abusing her badge.
I'm the police chief in Tampa.
Oh, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay.
I'm hoping that you'll just let us go tonight.
I don't know if betrayal is the word, but disappointment.
She gave O'Connor a second chance after a contentious selection process that highlighted, yes, O'Connor's leadership skills, but also an arrest from 1995, after which the rookie cop was fired and reinstated for battering an officer during a traffic stop.
I think that she was a good choice, and I provide those second chances. You can never.
From one DEI hire to another with her little Ukrainian money laundering flag. What do you guys think? Jeez, what a disaster. Why would you ever elect somebody like this to have any kind of position of power in your community? Brainwashed by the Communist News Network and PMSNBC with your cute little money laundering flag on your lapel. What do you guys think?
Ever know what decisions individuals are going to make down the road, and clearly she made a very poor decision.
The former chief now agrees as such, saying in her resignation letter that she resigned with great sadness and that she would never want her personal mistake to stand in the way of the progress she's made in mending relationships between the department and the community. An internal affairs review completed in a matter of 4 days found the chief violated standard of conduct and abused her position. In the report, she said she identified herself in the name of officer safety and that this,
You ever need anything, call me.
Okay.
Serious.
All right.
was not intended to offer preferential treatment. The mayor says they'll look nationwide for a new chief, as they did last year.
We will ensure that the community is involved, that city council, that
AKA she's going to try to find somebody who meets the definition of diversity, equity, and inclusion, that it's somebody who has sex with the same gender, probably, or somebody who's super dark skinned, or a woman, of course. But the last thing that this person's going to be looking for is someone who's qualified. And that's precisely why she's in this position today. And she's going to keep doing it. And I think it's because her political campaign donors like Larry Fink and BlackRock and George Soros expect that of her. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree.
everyone has the ability to meet the candidates as we did before.
New interim chief Lee Burkhoff sat with the mayor during today's interview and indicated he would be interested in the top job. But his current focus is providing leadership.
Officers know their integrity and ethics, and what happened here is a constant reminder of the professionals and ethics that they have to maintain.
Oh yeah, he's gone. There's no way he's going to get that job.
The former chief has also apologized for putting that Pinellas deputy in a difficult position. She also says that she is going to take some time to reflect before pursuing any additional endeavors. In Tampa, Evan Axelbank, Fox 13 News.
Okay, well, it don't stop. We're riding spinners. We're riding corruption. It don't stop.
A brand new Metro police officer who had just graduated from the police academy this past Friday was fired before his first day on the job. Louisville Metro Police say they were called to a non-injury crash on Saturday on Frankfort Avenue at McCready, and they discovered that LMPD officer Luis Rodriguez had hit several parked cars. He was still in the driver's seat of his car when officers got there. Rodriguez was arrested and charged with DOI, according to Metro Police. He had just graduated from the academy on Friday. His first shift was scheduled for Sunday. LMPD said Chief Jacqueline Gwen Villarreal immediately fired Rodriguez upon learning about the officer's arrest.
All right. So anyways, guys, you can just see it don't stop. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed my show tonight. I appreciate all the super chats and the membership purchases. It really does help me teach my kids how to be entrepreneurs. For those of you who don't know me, who like the show tonight, please make sure to like and subscribe. Double tap that screen. Check out my shorts. Make sure to save this stuff for later viewing, especially you long haul truckers. And I am a Texas and California personal injury attorney, but my love is civil rights and the Second Amendment. Being able to defend your family. I support homeschooling, homesteading, growing your own food, collecting your own rainwater, basically everything the Democrat Party doesn't support, right? I'm a recovering Democrat, decided to become a libertarian because I saw my party becoming basically like communist China. And I decided I'm out. I'm not going to deal with this crap anymore. But if you guys want to learn how to become a lawyer with no law degree or undergrad, you can go to my YouTube channel, my home YouTube channel, and pick up a copy of My Journey to Becoming a Practicing Lawyer with No Law Degree or Undergrad. There's a PayPal link there. I talk about the different states that offer similar programs if you want to learn how to become an attorney without going to some Marxist public school, college, or whatever, and just study on your own under a judge or a lawyer. And that's what I do. And I want to thank Robert Stubblefield, James Forbes. Again, thank you, James, for supporting my channel and my family. It means a lot to me. I could just be working on cases, be making a ton of money, but I do this because it's my passion. Because if I can just get one person to understand natural law, the law of the republic, freedom, individual rights, I've done my job as an American before I pass away. And that is the God's honest truth. I am a defined man. I'm an inactive U.S. Marine. I took an oath to uphold this Constitution. I take it very seriously. And I'm sickened by our leftist, Marxist-run school system that has completely destroyed the minds of our children. And I'm hoping that I can, by doing these shows in Vertical in particular, get these kids who are watching their phones, maybe with a little bit of humor, I don't know, but try to get them on our team, onto Team MPE, where we can take back this country from the commie pinkos that have destroyed it, and return America back to a position where we have freedom and liberty. And so Brent Shimko, James Forbes, Robert, again, thank you. And Pisano, F, always thanks, F, for supporting my channel. And make sure to like and subscribe and save all the time, guys, and share this with everybody, because you're never going to find a lawyer as cool as me who's got the balls that I have to say things that you all want to say but are too frightened to say. And I'm there to do it for you on your behalf. I am a leader. I believe in God, guns, and guts, and I'm your man. And so David Peak, Dar, all my homies, my homeboys, all my homeboys who are riding spinners and riding dirty, man, you are my people. And I really, really appreciate you guys coming here today and spending a couple hours with me to make it happen, to make America a better place for our children. And let's kick out all these commie criminals that Biden imported into our country and return America back to a safe place. Get rid of Trendar Agua and all these criminal MS-13 gang members and return America back to the American people. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree. Let's stop using the census to try to create a single-party system like communist China, like what Biden tried to do by importing 20 million illegal alien criminals into our country at your expense using non-government, tax-funded nonprofits. Let's make America what our founding fathers intended to be, which is a bastion of freedom. Republic. And with that being said, guys, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save, because we never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. Semper Fi, do or die. I'm riding